4 books, and this map, and this is real history. This is what they won't teach in high schools. Okay. We have this book right here, Creole New Orleans, Race and Americanization. The Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. And then Olaudah Equiano. And then we have Ibos. Includes over 25% African Americans, Hebrew exiles from Israel, amazing facts and revelations. Okay. So we'll start off with this book right here. Look what it says. By his own account, Olaudah Equiano was born in 1745 in what is now southeastern Nigeria, enslaved at the age of 11 and sold to the English slave traders who transported him to the West Indies. Okay. As you see on the Negro land map, what do we see right here? Kingdom of Juda, or Whidah, Slave Coast, the Gold Coast. You see that right there? Whidah. Okay. And you got there St. Thomas, where they transported the Jews that didn't want to convert or get baptized, in Spain. Okay. But look at that word right there, Whidah. Okay. Now we go to Creole, New Orleans, Race and Americanization. I made plenty of videos of this on my page. So we're going to go to page, let's see. Let me see. Page 70, right here. Origins and numbers of slaves brought to Louisiana from Africa, 1719 through 1743. We know that Mr. Olaudah was born in 1745, okay? Place of origin, you see that right there? Juda, or Whidah. Year landed, 1719, 1720, 1721. Number of slaves, what millions? 200, 250, 182, 349, 303, and 464. You see this? This is a textbook, right? College textbook. Louisiana State University Press. So they know who you are, right? They know who we are. That's why you have the logo, New Orleans Saints. Okay. But look at this. This is textbook, and this is real history right here. See that? Kingdom of Juda, Whidah. Now you see right here, Whidah, Juda. Now we're going to go to the book Ibos, Hebrew Exiles from Israel, Amazing Facts and Revelations. And look who we find in this book. Right here. His name spelled different, but still the same. Olaudah Equiano, if I'm pronouncing that right. The Ibo, or Hebrew, founding father of Britain's black political movement, written as Olaudah Equiano in history books. See that? History. So this ain't no theory. It's factual. Okay? This brother right here, a Hebrew Israelite. Is that too far-fetched? No, it is not. Because that's exactly who he was. I mean, let me give you an example. So I'm at page 40. As to religion, the natives believe that there is one creator of all things. So there's no co-creator. There's no polytheism. It's only monotheism. And that he lives in the sun and is girded round with a belt, that he may never eat or drink. But according to some, he smokes a pipe, which is our own favorite luxury. They believe he governs events, especially our deaths or captivity. Interesting, right? But as for the doctrine of eternity, I do not remember to have ever heard of it. Some, however, believe in the transmigration of souls in a certain degree. Those spirits which are not transmigrated, such as our dear friends or relations, they believe always attend them and guard them from bad spirits of their foes. For this reason, they always, before eating, as I have observed, put some small portion of meat and pour some of their drink. Like for your dead homies, right? Tupac, pour out a little liquor. Right here, page 41. We practice circumcision like the Jews and make offerings and feasts on the occasion in the same manner as they did. Like them also, our children were named from some event, some circumstance, or fancy foreboding at the time of their birth. Okay, I was named Olaudah, which in our language signifies vicissitude, if I'm pronouncing it right, or fortunate also, one favored in having a loud voice and well spoken. Right here. I have before remarked that the natives of this part of Africa are extremely cleanly. This necessary habit of decency was with us as a part of religion, and therefore we had many purifications and washings, indeed almost as many, and used on the same occasions, if my recollection does not fail me, as the Jews. So you see the similarities, right? Page 42. Though we had no places of public worship, I repeat,
though we had no places of public worship,
we'd had priests and magicians, or wise men, or you can say prophets. I do not remember whether they had different offices or whether they were united in the same persons, but they were held in great reverence by the people. They calculated our time, foretold events, and their name imported, for we called them Way Ka, if I'm pronouncing it right. Excuse me, I'm butchering some of these words, which signifies calculators or yearly man, our year being called Afo. They wore their beards. I repeat, they wore their beards like the Hebrews, the ancient Israelites. And when they died, they were succeeded by their sons, the Y chromosome, from father to son. It's a bloodline, like in that movie Tears of the Sun. Most of their implements and things of value were interred along with them. Pipes and tobacco were also put into the graves with the corpse, which was always perfumed and ornamented. And animals were offered in sacrifice to them, because the Most High does not do human sacrifices. It's only animals. That human sacrifices of Satan or different entities like Baal, Moloch, etc. None accompanied their funerals but those of the same profession or tribe. These burned them after sunset and always returned to the grave by a different way from that which they went. These magicians or wise men were also our doctors or physicians. They practiced bleeding by cupping, and they were very successful in healing wounds and expelling poisons. They had likewise some extraordinary method of discovering jealousy, theft, and poisoning. Okay. Let's go right here. Let me see. 1 second. Here we go. Page 44. Like the Israelites in their primitive state, the original state, our government was conducted by our chiefs, our judges, our wise men and elders, and the head of a family with us enjoyed a similar authority over his household with that which is ascribed to Abraham and the other patriarchs. Okay. So he's making a comparison because he is of, that lineage of Judah, of, the 12 tribes of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. So you see the correlation. You see, okay, he's figuring it out, that this book is talking about us. It's talking about my history, my lineage, laws, custom, the prophets. He's figuring it out. Or he knows that he is of the lineage, the bloodline. Right now I'm at page 191, the interesting narrative. Now, don't we all kind of feel like this, in these last days or in this time period that we're in right now? Now, the Bible was my only companion and comfort. I prized it much, with many thanks to the Most High, that I could read it for myself. I repeat,
with many thanks to the Most High, that I could read it for myself.
Not relying on a pastor or someone to give you their interpretation. You can listen, right? But also you have to read it for yourself. Only you can have that connection with the Most High, that relationship. You can't depend on someone else to have that relationship for you. And was not left to be tossed about or led by man's devices or notations. So he already knew, I have to read this word for myself. The Most High is a God of knowledge, right? Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. All this information is coming out. You have Isaac Bruce, a video I just made, talking about his original language, my people. All right, so you had Olaudah Equiano, born 1745, southeastern Nigeria, kingdom of Whidah or Juda. So we know he was a Hebrew Israelite or Judean. Okay. Enslaved at the age 11 years old. So children were sold into slavery. That's nothing new. I know they keep talking about today, children trafficking. Nothing new under the sun, right? Ecclesiastes 1:9. Okay, sold to English slave traders, transported to the West Indies. Judah, the Israelites were scattered all over the earth. Okay, now we got King George II, 1727 through 1760. All blacks were slaves. Cut that out. No, we were everywhere, especially in Europe. King James VI, he didn't write the Bible, but he, I'm trying to find that word. He authorized it. He got some of the best scholars and, the King James Bible. Okay, he didn't write it. He was not a homosexual or none of that. They made that stuff up. King James, dark-skinned daughter Elizabeth of Bohemia became mother of Sophia Charlotte. So right here, nature knows no color line. Sophia Charlotte. Okay, she was a mulatto. I don't know if this is the correct or historical picture of her, but you get the point. All right, so the white Jesus equals God, image of the beast. Okay, so we know that they were hanging Negroes, okay, in America. That's where you get the KKK and the Ku Klux Klan. Freemasonry, right? 11, 11, 11 equals 33 degree masonry. White Jesus, 33 years of age, right? They beat that white Jesus into these Southern Baptists, all these other different denominations of churches, right? So right here we have Galatians 3:13. Curses everyone who hangs on a tree. Who are hanging on the trees in the Americas? We know those were Negroes or Jews or ancient Shemitic Hebrew Israelites. Okay, those were our people. Deuteronomy 21:23. He who hanged is a curse from God. So therefore, us not believing in their white Jesus or their false Messiah, we were hanged and tortured and everything else under the sun. I mean, you see that picture, right, with the KKK, Jesus saves. I mean, do you get it? Acts 10 and 39. Land of the Jews, ancient Israelites, and in Jerusalem, whom they killed and hanging on a tree. So we get the theme, right? They're hanging Jews or ancient Shemitic Israelites on trees. Acts 5 and 30. God of our fathers raised up Jesus or Yeshua, whom you murdered by hanging him on a tree. So where did we get the cross from? Okay. The cross is just I'll talk about that in another video. 1 Peter 2 and 24. Bore his sins, his own body on a tree. Now, what group of people do you know that were hanged on trees? This is facts. It's not no witchcraft. Well, it is witchcraft because, it's all hidden in plain sight. That's why you have to study this. Why do you think they promoted that white Jesus so much, the 33-degree masonry? Made you believe that Jesus is God, when in Numbers 23 and 19 it says that God is not a man, nor the son of man. Okay, I'm paraphrasing that. So God is not a man of flesh and blood. Okay, God is omnipotent. So that means he can't be contained in a body. That's just my personal opinion and based on what I'm studying and reading. There's other different interpretations, but the creator, why would he come down as a man? It doesn't make any sense. Kill himself to save our sins when we know that in the Torah, the Most High doesn't sacrifice the innocent for the wicked. That means we all are accountable for our sins. See, the real Christ or the real Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, based on historical text, was like a freedom fighter, And then you had the Talmud Jews at that time, but that's another video for another day. But you see this right here? This makes a lot of sense, and it's true. Peace and shalom.
And we'll broadcast the truth. Truth has been very popular lately.